I still remember the exact moment my sister said it. That smug little smirk on her face when she told everyone my job had been bought for me. What she didn't know was that a single piece of paper would later shut her up forever and expose who really didn't earn anything. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or had your hard work erased by someone who thinks they're better than you, hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, drop a comment if you've ever tasted quiet revenge and settle in, because this one is subtle, petty, and unbelievably satisfying. So let me take you back a few years. I'm the youngest sister, the teeny one, the one people tend to overlook before I even open my mouth. At the time, I landed a job at a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center for men, the same company my aunt worked for, but in a completely different department. No overlap, no special treatment, just a reference, the same way any applicant gets one. But here's the thing, the hiring manager didn't want me. I could tell the second I walked into the interview. His eyes flicked over me, lingering just long enough to make the thought obvious. She's too small, too soft, too female. This was a men's rehab. Big emotions, big bodies, big risks. He hesitated. He questioned me harder than he needed to. Asked if I thought I could handle volatile situations. If I'd freeze up. If I understood what relapse really looked like. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't overcompensate. I just answered calmly, honestly. And when I walked out, I had that familiar knot in my stomach, the one that comes from knowing you're capable, but also knowing the world doesn't always care. When I got the call offering me the job, I promised myself one thing: if they give me a chance, I will outwork every doubt they have. And I did. Long nights, emotional exhaustion, men shaking, sweating, screaming through withdrawal. Conversations that sat heavy in my chest long after I clocked out. I learned how to read a room fast. How to stay calm when someone else couldn't. How to spot the signs before things went wrong. I carried Narcan everywhere. And I used it. 3 times. 3 human beings who would not be alive today if I hadn't been there. If I hadn't reacted fast. If I hadn't earned my place. But none of that mattered to my oldest sister. She's always been difficult. Loud opinions. No gratitude. The kind of person who believes the world owes her something while giving nothing back. At that time, she was unemployed. Not between jobs, unemployed. 2 years deep, living on excuses and bitterness. One afternoon, out of nowhere, she starts running her mouth. "Oh, please," she says, laughing. "You didn't really earn that job. Auntie bought it for you." Bought it. The word hit like a slap. I felt heat rush up my neck. My jaw tightened. My fingers curled just slightly, not enough for anyone to notice, but enough that I could feel my nails pressing into my palm. She kept going. She probably pulled strings. No way they'd hire you for that place otherwise. The room went quiet. My aunt wasn't even there anymore. She'd already retired. And even when she was working there, she had zero hiring power. She wasn't management. She wasn't HR. She gave a reference and stepped aside. And if my job had really been bought, wouldn't I have been fired the second she left? Funny how that never happened. I wanted to defend myself. To list every night I went home drained. Every emergency I handled. Every man who trusted me at their lowest point. But I didn't. Because I knew something she didn't. People like her don't listen to words. They only understand results. So I stayed quiet. Weeks passed. Months passed. I kept showing up. Kept doing the work. Kept proving myself to people who actually mattered. My boss, the same man who doubted me, started relying on me, asking my opinion, trusting my judgment. Then one day, my supervisor called me into the office. I assumed I was in trouble. She smiled and slid a thin piece of paper across the desk. "Congratulations," she said. "You were voted Employee of the Month." That was it. No dramatic music, no slow clap, just a cheap printed certificate and a 20 Walmart gift card. Honestly, I didn't care about the reward, but I cared deeply about what it represented. Recognition. From people who saw my work firsthand. From a place that had every reason not to keep me if I wasn't pulling my weight. I took that certificate home and set it right on the kitchen counter. Not framed. Not announced. Just visible. And then I waited. It didn't take long. My sister walked in mid-rant about something that was definitely not her fault. She stopped mid-sentence, her eyes locked onto the paper. "What's that?" she asked. I shrugged. "Oh, Employee of the Month." Silence. Not the awkward kind. The devastating kind. She picked it up. Read it again. Like maybe the words would rearrange themselves into something less humiliating. I watched her shoulders stiffen, watched her mouth open slightly, then close. No apology, no congratulations. Just a tight nod as she set it back down. And from that day forward, she never once said my job was bought again. Not once. Years passed. She's been unemployed again and again and again. And me. I'm still there. 8 years later. Same job. Same company. Still standing. Still trusted. Still proving that quiet consistency outlasts loud insecurity every single time. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need revenge that burned everything down. I let the truth do the talking. And that little piece of paper? It tasted delicious. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction. It's undeniable proof. If this story hit close to home, make sure you like the video, subscribe for more real life justice stories, and tell me in the comments what's the most satisfying, silent revenge you've ever witnessed.